Welcome to the virtual public information meeting for the Milton Secondary School Bound Review, and thank you in advance for your time and participation in this process in defining the future school accommodation plans for our secondary students in Milton. My name is Frederick Tebow, Senior Manager of Planning Services at the Halton Catholic District School Board. The format of this virtual public information meeting will be very similar to the open house format the board typically uses for in-person meetings, where you'll be able to participate at your own pace and review the information related to the School Bound Review Committee's work that has led to the potential options presented as part of this portal. Instead of information stations, we have now replaced them with individual webinars and digital documents for your review. At the end of the virtual public information meeting, we hope that you will be well equipped with all the information you need to respond to the feedback survey. The feedback survey portal will be open between April 24th and May 4th, at which point the portal will close for staff to collect and review the feedback. With that, let's begin. And welcome to portal number 1. In this portal, you will learn why secondary school bound review is required in the town of Milton, as well as be introduced to the School Bound Review Committee staff that has been working with developing options to present to you as part of this meeting. We will also provide you an overview of the various portals that you'll be reviewing as part of this process. Now, first and foremost, what is the School Bound Review process? Well, this is a process that the board uses to create and/or change school attendance boundaries for our schools. These are geographic areas that define the school service area and where it will draw its students. Now, when we define these, we use 6 different criteria which are listed below. For more information on these criteria, please visit Portal 3. The reason why we need a school bound review in Milton is twofold. First and foremost, the board does require a 3rd secondary school in Milton. The board is still awaiting a response from the Ministry of Education as to whether or not it has been successful in its recent capital priority submission, and whether or not it'll be funded for the school. The second point is that there's currently inadequate space in our existing 2 facilities to accommodate students starting in 2021-2022 school year. With that said, we'll need an interim solution until the new facility is open. Portal number 2 also provides additional information on enrollment forecasts and information that will provide more insight on this. Now with that, there are 2 primary goals as to what needs to be accomplished as part of this bound review process. The first will be to create the ultimate boundaries for the future Milton number 3 school, as well as redefine the Jean Vanier and Bishop Redding Catholic Secondary School boundaries. The other main goal is to create an interim accommodation plan for secondary students in Milton for the 2021-2022 school year until the new facility, Milton 3, opens. Now, the individuals that participate in this process are referred to as the School Bound Review Committee. This committee was established after the board approved the commencement of the bound review. Members include Catholic school council chairs or their designate from each school community, the secondary school council chairs from both secondary schools, so this is our student representation, the designated family of school superintendent being Jeff Knoll and Lori Narr, and facility management services and planning services staff. The task of the committee is to review potential options and provide objective feedback that relates to their neighborhoods that they know best. Once these preferred options are identified, they are then presented to the community for their feedback. Near the end of the process, the committee is then responsible for providing a recommendation to the Board of Trustees for them to consider and approve the final accommodation plan. In this slide, you can see all the members that are taking part in this process, and with each member, you'll see which schools they're associated to. Now, as part of this process, you will also have the opportunity to submit questions to your School Bound Review Committee members through a portal at the end of this webpage. In terms of the format, as I mentioned earlier, this is an open house format done digitally. So you'll have multiple portals that you can review and absorb this information at your own pace, and then use that to respond to the survey at the end of this portal. Afterwards, you also have the opportunity to review the FAQs and submit your own questions to the committee as well as board staff directly. In terms of the upcoming information portals, there are 5 additional portals that will need to be reviewed. Portal number 2 will review facilities and enrollment information in the town of Milton. Portal 3 will go more in depth into the bound review criteria and what they mean in the context of the town of Milton. Afterwards, Portal 4 will present to you the preferred ultimate school boundary. Portal 5 will then present potential interim accommodation plans for the 2021 school year. And lastly, the final portal will explain to you the next steps in this process. Here is the schedule of all the upcoming milestones that will be occurring in the next few weeks and months. As we mentioned earlier, this has been launched on April 24th, as well as the survey, which will then close on May 4th. On May 13th, We will meet again with our committee members and we will review your feedback that you have provided and determine what we will present as part of the upcoming virtual public meeting that will take place in May. A survey will also launch on this date and then will close in early June. This information will then be reviewed by the committee again and then will serve as additional information to develop the recommendation that will be presented to the Board of Trustees between the months of June and early October. Thank you for taking part in this portal, and you may now proceed to portal number 2, Facilities and Enrollment Information. Thank you.